I did not even mean to talk about this in this video, but maybe it's coming back to maybe you should be more real. Because I've struggled with this for 15 years, ever since I turned 40. But the thing is too, I'm a people pleaser. So I knew I had to go back and see my dermatologist. And I wanted him to be proud of me, because that's what I always want from everyone, is to be proud of me. I'm back from a morning walk. I am starting a new health journey, and I feel like I have so much to talk to you about. Two things right off the bat. My last video, I asked the viewers, what could I do to bring value to you and make my channel worth watching? Now, I was very, very humbled, because most people said, just keep being who you are. That's who we love. And I appreciated that so much. There was also a few people that did have some good advice. And what the common thread seemed to be was to be more relatable, to talk about my struggles, perhaps, to take you on something that I'm anxious about, that I'm afraid to do, and conquer my fear and bring you along with me, things like that. There was also one that wanted me to do a micro niche on cast iron pans, because my most popular video is how to season a cast iron pan. And for me, it's huge, but from, maybe regular people are real, I don't even know how to say it, but like, content creators that get a lot of views and stuff, it's been viewed 10,000 times. That was a quick 10,000 right off the bat. And so it's about how to season a cast iron pan. So someone said you could do a micro niche, which means I would just do everything to do with cast iron pans, which I appreciate. They did the research. They looked to see what my most popular video was. However, I would get so bored doing micro niche like that and talking just about like, oh, I made a pizookie in my cast iron, or all the things. I'm sure there's a ton of recipes and a bunch of stuff you can do with cast irons. I don't know. I don't think that's me. All right, so I'm making my morning coffee. I'm still hooked on the let's make it the old-fashioned way. Good thing I have a double coffee pot, because Motorcycle Man's not giving up his pods, you see. So we have the pod side and we have the regular ground coffee side. So I'm making my coffee, but I also really want to talk to you about the interview I did with JB last Friday. While the coffee is brewing, let's just talk about this Jay interview. Now, you can't find it on my channel. A couple of my viewers said, hey, I didn't see it on your channel. Well, I have a link. There's a post I made, and there's a link that takes you to his channel and the interview. It's on his channel. Oh my goodness. He is so good at interviewing. He is such a smart person. He had really great ideas for me and my channel. In fact, I'm going to go back and rewatch that interview, because he was giving me some tips, and I'm the type of person that has to write them down and really, take it in. So I'm going to rewatch it. It's going to give him some more watch hours, and I am going to take in some of his tips, which were really good. Like, he is very good at what he does. Now, his channel is about content creation, growing your channel. Although he's a new creator and a new, his channel's fairly new, he has a knack for it. He's a natural. He's very good at it, and he does his homework, and he does his research, and he knows what he's talking about. And what I told Jay, what I love about his channel is, like, he genuinely wants me to succeed. And he's personable. He interacts, because he's not blown up at this point. I do believe he will blow up. There's no doubt. This person's going to blow up, and he's going to do extremely well. It's just that little saying I love to say. I have a hat that says it. Good things take time, and I have to keep that in my own mind, because my channel is taking time, and it's growing. Like, I also like to say, growing organically. It's not, I won't jump on. I have jumped on the trends. I won't say that I haven't, because when you're first starting a channel, you look at all these things like, what can I do? But now I'm more like, I'm just going to be me. I'm going to live my life. But, the only thing I might add is I might start, it's not easy. And I have shared challenges. I have shared challenges on my videos, but if you're not watching them all the way through, you're not getting to the challenge I'm sharing. And I think often people will the analytics show it, only watch about 7 minutes and then they click off. So, you know, a lot of people miss my dancing at the end. Not the people that I know watch, like my committed, you know who you are in the comments, my diehard committed people. You know that I dance, you know that I share my struggles, you know that I'm a real person. But if you can't get past the first few minutes, you won't know that. And I'm not gonna take all my time trying to hook people, because that's not who I am. So I'm just gonna keep doing who I am. How do you say? This weekend I finished painting. I called her Eleanor. Is that, I don't have my glasses on. It's this way. I called her Eleanor, and I finished her, but I told I told Man Cub, who works on a job site during the week, I said, if you see any miscellaneous wire on the ground or whatever, can you bring me home the wire? Because I want to make her some wire rimmed glasses. I think that would really top her off. But I took a class from another YouTuber here on YouTube. Her name is Victoria Coleman, and I paid to take a little sculpture class. It's sort of like paper mache, but I think she's cute. I'm so happy with her. She's my first one. They're bound to get better. I was going to try to make a cat and put the real whiskers that I find in my house for my cats. I sort of, you know, I have to say, got frustrated making this because my supplies kept drying before I could get them on the mold. And I think it's because I live in a dry climate here in Southern California. So I have to work on fine-tuning that mixture, but I still want to make the cat with the real cat whiskers. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, I'm going to get my coffee now. May I share with you the health challenge that I am going to do? I am 55 years old, and you know what? I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I keep getting messages coming down and they're distracting me. So that's something when you create on your phone, you have to make sure you put it on Do Not Disturb. Otherwise, you could get a phone call, which cuts off the recording, and little messages pop down. You're like, ah. I like to put my focus on sleep, because if it's on sleep mode, it's shaking. The only people that can come through are everyone's important in my life, okay? But like the children, the spouse, they can come through on the sleep mode, but nobody else can. So it's a really good mode for me to put it on. All right, I want to talk about my health challenge. I was starting to say, I'm 55 years old, and you know, I cannot eat the way I used to eat. It's just not a good idea. I love all kinds of foods. I like to joke that I am a Taurus. One time I was on Instagram, and they had this thing of all the different, you know, signs that you could be, you know, that you are. I'm a Taurus, and it had like a little symbol of what that person, what their vice was. And I can't remember which sign it was, but one didn't have a heart at all. And my heart was the shape of a slice of pizza, because we love food. It's somewhat of a known fact. If you're a Taurus out there, I think you know what I mean. And I love food, and it's so hard for me to not enjoy all the foods of all the kinds. And I have no, you know, I just basically love it all. I have no, what was I trying to say? No bias. I don't favor. It's just like, I love you all. I love all the food. So this is hard for me. I feel like I still eat the way I did when I was a teenager. I have not really changed my eating habits, which your metabolism slows down, things change, and it's a good idea to be healthy. Now, I've done many videos on this. Like one time I sat in the park under these beautiful redwoods, and I talked about my struggle with weight my entire life. It's a good video, actually. And I was going to eat things that were just pure, not processed. And I did that for a time and then fell back into the old patterns. Last summer, I walked every day and did a short on it. And I'm starting that up again, because what has sparked this health challenge is Sally with Sally D's Reality reached out to some of us creators and said, I'm doing a health challenge myself. Would you like to join me? So there's about 5 of us. It's a small, quaint group of ladies my age. And we're not going haywire. We're just saying things like, hey, we're going to start moving more, which hence the daily morning walks for me that I'll be incorporating. Getting more water in, drinking more water. Those two are, we don't want to overdo it and burn ourselves out and be like, we can't do this anymore. It has to be sustainable. I would love to cut back on sugar because it's inflames. And I have things that, it inflames, I'll just say. And I would love for that to change. And so I have started that journey. Basically, yesterday I weighed myself, and I will share it with you on here because I know some of you will be like, Tracy, it's not about the number on the scale, and we don't want to focus on it in that not healthy way. But there is the way of saying, I am 5'4", I weigh 198 pounds even. That's what it was yesterday. That is a couple pounds shy of 200. Now at 5'4", that is not good for my heart. My heart is having to work extra hard. And even my bones and joints have to take more impact. And I know people my age that, already have to get a hip surgery. And, if you have less weight on your body, you may not have to get that surgery one day. You may not have to get your knees replaced. Be kind to our bodies. And it's really hard for me as a lover of food. And also I like to sit a lot because I like to create and I like to draw and I like to edit and I like to journal, and all those things are sedentary. Hope I said that word right. But anyway, you sit a lot, and I was sitting for hours making this little character. And so you have to make an effort to actually move. So I am going to incorporate that. And the beauty of having a channel is you can share these things, and I can do little shorts on my walks in the morning. And I did it when I did it a year ago. I got so much encouragement from I didn't even have a community back then. Barely anyone watched my channel, but the couple of people who did, Judith was one. She's my OG. She has a channel on here. I think it's called Life with Judith, if I'm not mistaken. She rides a motorcycle. She's super rad. And she was one of my OG subs, and I subbed her, and we were very encouraging to one another. But every time I went on a walk, Judith would encourage me. And then what happened, I can't say, but it all just stopped. It came to how do you say, screeching halt. Halting screech. Screeching halt. Anyway, it came to a stop. And then I just started, falling back into the old routines. And I'm ready. I'm ready to have my clothes not fit so tight. I love my curves, by the way. I love my curves. I love that I have hips, and I'm just naturally hourly glassed shaped. So I want to embrace that. I don't want to be like something I'm not. And I'm not going for unattainable goals. They're going to be real, just, it's not about the scale, but I did need that starting point, because I always said to myself, and this is for me personally, I'm like, I never want to go over that 200. It's just for me personally. It's just, I don't want to go over 200. I'm not there, but I'm so close. And if I don't pay attention and I don't have that check-in, now I'm obsessive by nature. I'm OCD. I already know that I am. And it comes with a lot of things. Like I'm not the type of OCD person who has to turn off and on lights and make sure the stove's off like 15 times. I'm more like, just when I get into something, I go hardcore into it and I can't stop. Like when I started weighing myself, I wouldn't just weigh myself once a day. I weigh myself multiple times a day, every single day. And that is not healthy. And my therapist, when I was going, said that is not a good idea. And what would be better is if you could just check in with yourself once a week. Can you do that? And that was hard. I was like, I don't know. Can I do that? I don't know. I just wanted to step on that scale every moment I had a chance. So it's things like that I'm obsessive about, besides my own personal health problem that my OCD with the picking. I've talked about it on here before, but not in detail. But I'm a skin picker. And so that's embarrassing in life because, you know, right now I have them like on my shoulders, just a little, some spots on my arms, my legs, my hips, sometimes even my belly. And so what does that mean? I don't like to wear cute sundresses. I don't even own a pair of shorts. And it's not about my weight. I think I think I have a distorted thing on that. Like I'll go into a store and be like, oh, I think this medium's going to fit. And then it doesn't fit. I'm not down about my body. I'm down about the sores on my body. And even when I do yoga, I sometimes wear like these pants, these tight pants under my yoga pants, like skinny pants. What are they called? Leggings. I wear leggings under my yoga pants because I would surely not wear leggings. I just don't think it's a good look for me personally. But I wear leggings under my yoga pants because often we do things where we go legs in the air and you put your legs in the air and then my pants will fall down and then everyone would see my sores and that's embarrassing. And, you know, when people have seen them, especially children, because children are innocent and they have no idea, right? So if they see something on you that looks out of the ordinary, they will ask you about it. And I've been asked plenty with the little humans I have in my life because I love little people, little humans, and they are often in our home. And I'm a little bit more, you know, myself, and I don't hide things in my own home. And so the little child, I'll say, might say, oh, what's wrong with your legs? Or, oh, I'm sorry, you have owies or you have sores. Or and the cutest of all was little Coco, and she touched my leg and she said, I'm going to start praying for you. I'm going to pray for your sores to heal. And for some reason I just can't let them heal. And the thing is when you have OCD, you don't just pick one sore. You pick all the sores and you keep scratching until you create more sores. And I did not even mean to talk about this in this video, but maybe it's coming back to maybe you should be more real. And again, I have shared this struggle in other videos if you've paid attention, but I don't go into detail with it. I think even I may have that one video in the park that many of my family members and friends, it's been their favorite video. And when I was doing the interview with Jay, my friend Noelle with Gen X Girl brought that video up. She's like, that's one of my favorite videos you've ever done. I'm sitting in a park. I'm speaking from the heart. It was impromptu. I didn't even have a tripod. And I started talking about my struggles. I was having a bad day. I may have even talked about it in that video. I actually can't remember. But it is a real struggle for me, and it's the kind of struggle that makes it almost feel like I'm a failure. For one, I'm a failure because I can't seem to quit. I alluded in another video, if I made this one change, it could change my life. And I didn't tell you what it was about, but it was about that. And it's almost like an addiction. So I want to work on that. And sometimes I feel like if my health is in a little bit better order, because I've struggled with this for 15 years, ever since I turned 40, I know that I have the power to take them away because it's happened before for me where I've gotten real laser beamed focused and I have stopped doing the picking. I went to about, and this is not an exaggeration, 4 different dermatologists. And finally, the last one I went to, I actually trusted the most, and I think he was the most accurate. And he said that, and there was a name for it, and I wish I could remember it, but I can't. It's not, it's a little bit like the Dermaticul blood. I'll put the name in here. You know what, I'm not good with medical stuff now. I'm just not good at remembering things. I don't know what that is, but there's one where you pull your hair out all the time, and there's one where you pick, and there's a name for it. Dermaticul, I don't know, but I'll find it and I'll put it in there and the name here. And but there was another name that he gave for it that was different than that. And he said at the time he wanted me to put a rubber band around my wrist, like the kind you put on newspaper. And he's like, don't just give yourself a little flick, pull it way back and give yourself a big flick. And I did that. But the thing is too, I'm a people pleaser. So I knew I had to go back and see my dermatologist. And I wanted him to be proud of me, because that's what I always want from everyone, is to be proud of me. So I went back, and of course I succeeded. All the sores were healed, and he was like, good job, because I did that trick and I wanted to please my dermatologist. So it healed then. And another time it healed in my life was the whole month of December. I decided I was going to wear a dress, and I did a fundraiser. And I asked people if I could, I was doing a fundraiser for human trafficking, and if they would sponsor me, all the money that I raised would go to this fundraiser. And I wore a dress every single day, and I exposed my legs, which means I was going to work at the time. I had to walk into the office and people had to see the sores on my legs. It was really challenging for me, and it really meant the world to me when people supported me with their money, because even though it was for a different cause, when people were giving me money, they were showing me they had faith in me, that I could wear my dress every day and expose my legs. So thank you, if you're watching, to anyone who gave me money for that cause. It meant more to me than you will ever know. And I was able to clear my sores up at that time. So here I have gone totally off subject, and as usual talked about many things, which is also why my channel is not huge, or because I know I'm a likable person. It's not that you don't like me, it's just that people don't know me yet, and they just don't know me, and so they don't know what they're missing. Is that sounding too cocky or too confident? But I really feel that that's part of the case. And just as usual lately, I'm just I think it could be because Abby's gone, but I'm in a down mood, not the best mood. I know I'm meeting with Barbara. I'm looking at the time, in about an hour. So I will be able to edit this later. I'm going to edit my walking video that I did this morning, because I did walk a mile this morning and got sweaty. And I'm not going to dance, but I usually do dance. But I'm really kind of like, I just shared something extremely, extremely private and heavy with you. And I don't want a lot of like sympathy in the comments. I definitely don't. I'm just sharing with you that no matter who you are, I'm positive you have something going on. Nobody's life is perfect. My goal on this channel is to share gratitude, joy, the little big things, as I call them. It's to show you that life is tough and it is challenging, but there's always good to be found in the day. And that's mainly what my message is for my channel. I love disco balls. I love hearts. I love finding feathers. I love finding whiskers that I call magic. All those things are available to all of us if we just open our eyes and look for them. So when I share a little bit about it, like for instance, I have to just add this. Another creator on here, Carrie, Watercolor Carrie, she watched my video about finding cat whiskers, and she said, I've always had cats and I've never found a cat whisker in my entire life. And just this weekend, she sent me a picture of her first cat whisker that she found. And it just really made me feel really good, because these are the kinds of things that happened to me. That happened, as well as Kirsten, my friend that I've known for a very long time, forever, and one of my best friends. She lives in a different state. She saw a rainbow yesterday, and she took a picture of it, and she's like, I couldn't help but think of you when I saw this rainbow, and she sent the picture to me. So not only am I helping, I don't know how to word this without sounding like I'm all that, but helping other people see what the beauty is in the world, but then I get the extra perk of them sharing it with me, then that also blesses me. And that's what tends to happen. So I am going to wrap it up for now, and until next time. Oh, but I have to say, I'm having another live, and it's gonna be this Thursday, with Dawn. Resting witch face Dawn, like Dawn. She is going to do a live with me. And so that will be something to look forward to. She's also doing a live with JB on Friday, the same JB that did a live with me last Friday. All right, until next time, I hope you do not give up Believe me, I know what it's like to feel like you want to give up, but I have to keep going because, as I say, if you don't keep going, you'll never know the reward at the end. So until next time, peace, love, and keep going.